All right, everybody, welcome to the first episode of the Name Pending podcast. And no, that is not because we don't have a name, we just decided to come up with the name of Name Pending. Today, I am joined by Mr. Joseph Farah, and we will be talking some anime.
Get this going.
Not no happy to be here.
Well, I'm always
Never.
happy to be here. That's implied, you know. I'm always happy to be here.
All right, so today, uh, repping the shirt, we're going to be talking some Naruto. Specifically, the first part of Naruto. The opening until the Sasuke retrieval arc. That is the section we are looking at today because Mr. Joseph Farah is in the middle of Shippuden right now.
Middle, you could say probably like beginning at this point. We're only like episode 35, but we're working on it.
Oh, so you're not even to the good stuff yet.
Not yet.
Well, I mean, it's good.
It's all good.
But you're not to the best parts of Shippuden yet.
I'm excited for it, though. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, so we're just gonna start, and we're just gonna go through and give our thoughts on each arc as they go. So I've laid out a little bit of sections where we're gonna talk about the opening few episodes. I think it might only be the first episode. It's been a while since I've watched it, but the first episode with meeting Naruto, learning about the Nine Tails, and everything that leads up to Iruka and what's his name, Miluki in the forest or whatever his name is, with the 1,000 shadow clones.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I agree. It's I haven't watched that. It's been a minute since I watched that, so it'll be interesting. And if you wait 1 second, I forgot I have to add something. Give me 1 second.
Oh my god. Is this what I think it is?
Just throw on my accessory here. Really get in the spirit.
Really get yourself in the spirit,
Oh yeah.
All right, so with the opening chapters, I say chapters because I don't know. I've been reading a lot of manga recently, not necessarily the Naruto manga, but been really into the Tokyo Ghoul manga. Either way, this is a podcast about Naruto, not Tokyo Ghoul, so I'm going to focus on Naruto. I think that the opening and learning about Naruto and that he's basically an asshole and terrible at everything he does, I think it's a really good opening to get to know the character. You know the character, you know what he's about, you know what he wants.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, you can go.
I really think when I first saw the first couple episodes, I personally thought, I don't know what you feel about it, but I feel like they purposely tried to make him a dislikable character off the bat with the way he acted and stuff like that. It seemed like I know he was younger then, but it seems very childish from the situation that he was in. You figured if someone's been through something like that, they would grow up faster, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's more or less. I get where you're coming from. Yeah, he's definitely made to be a dislikable character at first, but it comes from a place of childhood innocence because he doesn't know why everyone in the village hates him. He doesn't know that he has the Nine Tails inside of him, and he never had true parental figures to watch over him because. Well, the third Hokage was supposed to be taking care of him, but he came by once a month, gave him rent, and said, clean up, or some shit like that.
Yeah. That's a big factor I forgot to throw on there, was that he didn't have any parents. I think that makes sense, because there's no one teaching him, how to act and all that stuff.
Yeah, no parents there to tell him like, hey, you got to make sure that you clean up after yourself. Make sure you don't drink spoiled milk. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, moving on like to the actual forest part when it's that night and Iruka finds out that Naruto stole the scroll. And the fact that, I mean, for me, it's what hooked me on Naruto right away was how Iruka, no matter what like face he put on for people about like the Nine Tails killed his family, he still cares about Naruto for who Naruto is. Not He doesn't see him as the nine-tailed fox, he sees him as Naruto. And I think that there's a part later on in Shippuden that was actually, I believe it was anime exclusive, but you're gonna cry.
Oh, gonna be a tough
I
one.
know I did.
Yeah. So I think that a lot of the people that maybe even watch it will question why Iruka doesn't absolutely hate Naruto. But uh, God, I can't even think right now.
That's all right. This is a podcast. It's just
On the
free
fly.
reign. Just go and talk.
So it's just like I think he gets like because that Iruka's uh, parents were killed by the Nine Tails, he kind of grew up in the same sort of fashion that Naruto did. So I think he sees himself in Naruto, and he also understands that Naruto's not the one that killed his family. So like he was the Nine Tails was put inside Naruto. He didn't get to choose all that. So I think he can appreciate his background and kind of understand that in a way.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's a sense of like brotherhood there. Not necessarily like some will say some could see, wow, I speak. Some could see Iruka as either like a brother figure, like an older brother, or like a father figure, and I could see it going either way, honestly. Like at some points Iruka treats Naruto just like a brother. Like they're friends, they're going to get ramen.
Mm-hmm.
But other times, like when he's being a teacher, being protective of him, that's more of a fatherly thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think I think it starts off as more of like almost like it towards in around the beginning of original Naruto series. He starts off as more of that father figure, but at least from what I've seen so far in Shippuden, just that the first couple episodes, he's starting to become more of like the older brother figure as Naruto grows up a little bit. At least that's what I think it's see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as Naruto grows up a little more, he doesn't really need anyone to be a father figure. He needs someone to, like, more or less keep him in line a little bit, like, let him reign over himself a little bit. And that's more of, like, where being a brother would come into. Like, you're still there, an older brother, to make sure he doesn't screw anything up.
Right.
But you're letting him figure out what he needs to do.
Yeah, and I think too. Now that you said that, he like Iruka becomes that older brother figure for him, and then because of him being with Jiraiya, I think Jiraiya becomes that father figure for him. Once he meets him and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that in a little bit later. But for now, I say we move on to talking about the Land of Waves arc.
All right.
You know which one that is. That's the first arc. I mean, it's on the bridge with Zabuza and Haku.
Yep, first big mission that they get as Genny.
Yeah, which wasn't supposed to be a big mission. I don't know if you caught that. It wasn't supposed to be that. It was just, escort this bridge builder. All of a sudden, two like S rank shinobi come and ambush because of Kakashi.
Yeah, Jonin level.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking S rank. Jonin, obviously.
Well, they have like the missions are ranked like that, S, A, B, C, D, or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like, it definitely, if the mission was to take out Zabuza and Haku, it would have been like an S rank mission, probably.
Yeah, they wouldn't even thought about putting that on a mission.
They would not have sent freaking Naruto, Sasuke, and God Sakura.
Such a useful character.
Say what. I will let you know. You watched Kazekage Rescue Mission, right?
Yes. So Sakura.
So
has
you
done
saw
stuff.
Sakura. You saw Sakura do things.
For the
So-
first time, yeah, since I've known her,
For the first time since you've known Sakura, she did something useful. She was assisted in beating a member of the Akatsuki.
Yep.
Yeah. So, with the Land of Waves, I don't know. I don't remember what your initial reaction was, but I feel like I remember you texting me when you finished. Was like, I don't really get it. Like, why do people like Zabuza and Haku so much? I don't. I don't know if I'm remembering that wrong.
No, yeah, I remember kind of questioning that. Like, Zabuza was this. I personally didn't really think he was a really, at least towards the end there. I didn't think he was that great of a written character, but I think that arc for me was carried by Kakashi. Honestly, I feel like that arc is when I knew he would be my favorite character in the whole show. Like, and it just kept going from there. But
Is he still your favorite?
yeah, I would say yeah. Well, favorite good guy, we'll call it that.
Who's your favorite antagonist so far?
Oh, it's obvious. My boy Itachi, man.
Itachi.
I love that.
You've
dude.
seen Itachi what, like twice?
I've seen him a solid. I'd say like 4 or 5 times so far. I mean, he's only fought like twice, but dude, I don't know how anything goes down or whatever, but I want to see him and Naruto fight when Naruto's like destroying shit. It'd be awesome.
You said you want to see Itachi and Naruto fight?
I do want to see that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna say anything. If you're speculating on things that'll happen later, I won't say anything, except for things that you've already seen.
I'm cool with that.
So yeah, I mean, for me, I like the Land of Waves. I think I watched it all in a day. Aside from the backstory, and I really enjoyed the final sequence where Zabuza only had the one kunai in his mouth and was like getting stabbed by all the people and just took on all those like mafia people by himself.
Yeah, that was pretty
I thought
special.
that was a very powerful, and then him asking for help to get to Haku so they could die side by side.
Yeah, that right there was in my opinion kind of saved the arc for me too. So I mean I think that was, like you said, very powerful. You know, and you realized how deep a connection him and Haku had at that moment.
Ooh, I almost forgot to mention the part that made me end up like liking Naruto a lot more. Cause I thought Naruto was just like unbearable. But then when he unleashed the Nine Tails chakra after Sasuke took the like needles in front of him and just absolutely wailed on Haku, and was able to stop himself from killing him. That made Naruto such a more interesting character.
100%. That showed his ability to control himself in a way, even though it's not really himself. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, overall, I'd say Land of Waves for me was probably like an 8 out of 10, 7.5, somewhere around there.
I'd probably put it
There
around
was
7.
memorable stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was memorable stuff, but overall, not the most memorable of Naruto arcs. So with that, We move past the Land of Waves and into the Chunin exam prelims. So this is from like right after the Land of Waves all the way through the 1v1s like that are not like out in the public.
Okay.
So this is everything like I we're probably going to include like the training for the finals in this part. In this section we'll include the training, so when Naruto meets Jiraiya, basically.
Okay. So my first thoughts about this for sure are that test part. I that was probably one of the weirdest parts of the show that I've seen because it was like that was the first time I had really seen Gara use the thing with the eye, and I was just like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, it's just it was crazy, and I was really surprised when Naruto didn't raise his hand to at the end of that testing part. I was really surprised when he didn't decide to opt out because he didn't know any of the questions. Like, he didn't know any of them at all.
Yeah, I feel like it was a brilliant device to show how more skilled shinobi can use their powers to cheat on a written test. And then it was a good character moment for Naruto to just stand up and like defy everything in front of everybody. It's what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Naruto.
Oh yeah, that's his tweak his motto, I guess. Just
Believe it.
I'm gonna be Hokage someday. Believe it. He said that. He said that shit so much in the original series.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he definitely calms down with that. But out of the sections, so it's normally I'll ask like what your favorite section was of something, but honestly, what was your least favorite section of like the preliminary tuning exams?
Hmm. I'm gonna say. I don't know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna say when Naruto met Kabuto, I didn't like it, and at that moment too, I knew something was up. Kabuto was a very suspicious character. When I first met him, I thought there was something up. But something just I didn't like it. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you mean. That was in the Forest of Death, right?
No, they met each other in when they first got
Oh,
in to like
yeah,
the
when they first
building.
got there.
Mhm.
I would say so. I don't know if it was because I fell asleep in like the middle of an episode and then woke up and decided to just watch the next episode, but I feel like I missed things in the Forest of Death because I wasn't paying attention or I was like asleep. So I didn't even remember that Naruto and Sasuke fought Orochimaru.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That was a really good fight though too, and
Yeah.
that was actually one of my more favorite parts of the preliminaries because you had Naruto looking at Sasuke. I can't remember what
Oh,
Sasuke
I
said.
know what I know what my least favorite part of the No. No, this is it. There was parts of the Forest of Death like near not like the end where it was like, oh yeah, when you figured out that Gara cleared it in record time, even faster than Itachi,
Mhm.
and then that the most boring part was Kabuto and Team 7 like just going to the exit because nothing really happened. It was just them running there. And I feel like there's a part in Hunter x Hunter that I think does this kind of thing, but a little bit better. It's in the Hunter exam, it's Trick Tower. I think that does this kind of concept a little bit better just because of the ending where you like you kind of knew that in both situations, you kind of know that your main characters are going to make it. There's
Mhm.
there would there wouldn't be too much of a story if your main characters didn't at that point.
Right. Right.
And I don't know, just the way they went about it, where showing the victory in Trick Tower went better than how they ended up clearing the Forest of Death to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched Hunter x Hunter yet, but when I do, I'll definitely have to compare the two.
I mean, that's the only thing I would say I've thought about comparison wise,
Mhm.
but there's obviously there's you can make comparisons with almost anything.
Yeah.
So many stories borrow off of each other.
Oh yeah.
But I think we need to talk about those 1v1s in the preliminaries.
Oh yeah. We definitely need to. That you could have a whole conversation about those alone.
You could have a whole conversation about one specific fight.
You could. Yeah. Like I don't know what you're thinking of, but I think I know what you're thinking of. Maybe.
You know exactly what I'm thinking of.
Oh, what are you thinking of?
What am I thinking of?
Mm-hmm.
If I had leg weights on, I would get up and drop them.
Yeah.
You could talk about that fight for hours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know if you were talking about that one, which is arguably the best fight I've seen in the show up to this point, including Shippuden. Or
I will raise you my favorite fight in the series once we get to the end of this.
all right, that's fair. But I feel like I want to talk about Naruto versus Kiba because the amount of
the
bullshit-
fight that Naruto wins by farting.
dude literally was just like, yeah, I've got the smelling ability of a dog, and he's just like, I'm gonna shit your face, like.
Naruto wins because Kiba has a strong sense of smell and he farted.
He got absolutely pulverized so much. Like, you can't tell me that's not. I mean, obviously it's part arm for him, but it's just like, dude, like, if that's anybody else, Kiba is like destroying him if he beats him up that bad.
Naruto probably would have lost to 90% of the people in those preliminaries. He would have lost to Gaara, to Lee, to Sasuke, to Kiba if he didn't have to fart.
Yeah.
Naruto could have beat. Actually, Naruto probably wouldn't have beaten Sakura because he would have been like, I'm not gonna hit Sakura.
Yeah, and she's just that much smarter than him too.
Yeah, he would have lost to Ino because she would have. Either way, Naruto would have lost to basically anyone there.
Yeah.
He just so happened to get the guy with a strong sense of smell.
Yeah, that's just not one of the bright moments for that. But I mean, if you can appreciate it for the humor aspect a little bit.
Oh, I thought it was stupid when I watched it.
Yeah, it was.
I've seen so far in One Piece. There's been a lot better like fart and potty humor.
Potty humor. I don't know, man. That scene early on. Before
the scene where Naruto almost shits himself. Yeah. Okay, that was kind of funny.
That was
because
funny.
I didn't need the shot over Naruto where he's taking a poop. I didn't need that.
That was a little extra spice.
Yeah, it was a little extra. I don't think I needed that in my life, but oh my god, we forgot to talk about the best couple ever. Naruto and Sasuke. They were both each other's first kiss.
Oh, yeah, they were. Huh.
The way that it happened is quite hilarious.
Wait, how did it happen? I remember it happening, but I don't remember.
Naruto was like crouching on the table staring down Sasuke, and someone like bumped into Naruto and he fell forward and they kissed.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
It was funny. It was a perfect way because like the two of them hate each other, but
yeah.
it's just perfect. It's a perfect scene. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Either way.
Perfect.
So, do you have anything you want to bring up with the prelims anymore?
Yeah, I'd like to spend a couple minutes talking about Lee versus Gara. If you've,
Yeah, we
if
can
you're
do
down.
that. We can do that.
I just have to say that for when that was animated, and because animation wasn't as what it is today back then. Like,
Oh yeah, no way. Well, take a look at. I mean, you look at Thousand Year Blood War for Bleach. That's Pierrot right now. Actually, wait. Does Pierrot do the earlier parts of Naruto? I can't remember.
I don't know. I know they do Shippuden. I know they do that because it's like
I know
all
they
of
do
it.
Shippuden. I'm looking it up. Either way, you can keep talking while I look this up.
Sure, so, like, there's something about Lee that just makes him such he's such a likable character. Um, he's got that he's got that drive. Like it when I watch him talk about fighting or training or if he's in a fight, dude, I just want to run through a brick wall. Like that dude's got. I think he's such a well-written character, and even more so about his goal. It's not to become Hokage or join Anbu's Black Ops. He just wants to be a good ninja to prove everyone that he can do it, and I think that that's really special. Now, I'm not gonna lie. At the end of that fight there, after he had opened the 5 gates, and was basically out of gas, and Gara got the sand coffin on his arm and leg, dude. That was a tough scene because that fight and all of that made me fall in love with Lee, and then to see him be put out of commission for so long because of that was tough for sure.
Yeah. I think that's how everyone felt. Like, you see this guy who can go toe-to-toe with the strongest person, in that age group of, obviously, probably one of the Jonin, like Kakashi, could have taken down Gaara, but I feel that without, excluding all those Jonin, to have Lee be able to go against the strongest of that group and be winning up until a certain point.
Yeah.
I think that just it shows it's the perfect theme of hard work versus raw talent.
Yeah.
Lee is all about perfecting at working hard at what he can do, and Gaara's just there trying not to work hard at all.
Yeah, and what's
If
even
he works
crazier
hard,
is that
Shukaku comes out.
yeah, that is true. But it's even crazier because at least for now, at that point, Lee doesn't have any ninjutsu or genjutsu. It's all taijutsu.
Lee is only capable of performing taijutsu.
So
He is not capable of any ninjutsu or genjutsu.
so it's special in that aspect. And Gaara's just out there trying to prove that he's still alive by trying to kill people. So at least at that point,
Yeah, he has to kill people to feel alive. Think about that.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, we're nearing about a half hour, so we're gonna move into the. I split this up as the Chunin exam finals. Oh, we gotta talk about the training. Just kind of meeting Jiraiya, your first impressions, and the Toad summoning jutsu.
I gotta say, Jiraiya he's up there. He is. It was like I always knew when I first met him, I'm like, oh my god, this is like an old version of Naruto. Like this is an old dude Naruto. And it's like as you get to know him more, it's just like they act so similar. It's just hilarious in a way. But I think Jiraiya really was able to help out Naruto in a way that I don't think Kakashi ever could, honestly. So that was interesting for sure. I mean, the whole part with Ebisu was kind of stupid, but then you get to meet Jiraiya,
Well,
so it's good.
yeah. Yeah, I wonder. I'm pretty sure Kakashi did that on purpose. Like, Kakashi purposely said to Naruto, "I'm not training you. I'm training Sasuke," and stuck him with Ebisu so that at some point he knew he would run into Jiraiya because Kakashi and Jiraiya are tight.
Yeah.
So he knew that he would run into Jiraiya and everything would be okay. But it still is like Kakashi is kind of an asshole for that, for basically just favoring Sasuke and just being like, yeah, Sasuke, I'm going to teach you everything I know. Naruto, who cares about him, basically.
Yeah, that is true. But if you look at it from a different perspective, it's the best thing Kakashi ever did for Naruto was get him and Jiraiya together. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be very evident in the next arc.
Yeah. So, that's
with
all I got
that,
about that part.
With that, we move into the Chunin exams finals / Konoha Crush. And that's, the two matches they have of the finals. And then all the way up until like Orochimaru and the third Hokage, and then the defeat of Gaara.
All right. There's a lot of stuff to unpack here for sure.
Oh yeah.
Naruto versus Neji. How do I say this? There's no
Bullshit.
Again, I like Naruto. There's no way in any universe that Naruto should win that fight. He didn't know.
Naruto should not have been able to win that fight.
Naruto does not know. He did not know about the Byakugan's weak spot, and if I don't know. But I mean, it was a cool fight for sure. About being able to write your own fate, stuff like that. But I think that Neji 100% comes out on top of that every time.
Yeah, you'll see more and more throughout the series. Naruto just starts to prove Neji right. Like there's some stuff that happens later that I did not care for, and once you finish Shippuden, we can talk about that stuff in full. But there's some stuff that I do not like near the end of Shippuden that kind of, it kind of tarnishes this fight, and it kind of makes it proves Neji right, and basically it seems like Naruto won for nothing. He wasn't proving anything based on what he does later. But regardless, we'll talk about that at a later date once you get through Shippuden. Shikamaru. Shikamaru is one of my favorite characters. But he did not become my favorite character until Shippuden. But this is where you first really get to see what he's like.
Yeah.
He's smart. He really has a I don't care attitude about things. And he always thinks through his problems. He's thinking 3 steps ahead of every opponent he faces.
Oh yeah. And he's like I honestly thought that part of the fight against it was Tamari, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That his shadow could only go that far, but like that was such a smart thing to do, because she thought she was safe outside that particular range of him, and then with the shadow going underground and all that stuff. I mean, he was really smart, and he does have that I don't care attitude about stuff all the time, but when it comes down to getting things done, he'll get them done.
Yeah, he'll always say his classic, what a drag. But he'll do it. Oh, but that's such a drag.
I'm gonna be very upset if him and Tamari don't end up together at the end of Shippuden. I can see it coming.
Just wait. Are you planning on watching Boruto? Because if so, read it instead.
Well, what is it, like 95% filler or something like that? Something crazy.
Out of, well, basically, there's almost 300 episodes of Boruto, and probably about 50 of them are true manga canon. I found most of like the anime canon stuff, like the anime canon. There's a difference between anime canon and filler,
Yeah.
where it's like stuff that is supposed to add and enhance the anime, like what they're doing with Bleach. But I think that they just went too far with it for Boruto. Like, I don't care about most of the people they're trying to make me care about.
I mean,
Either way, this is about Naruto,
Right.
not Boruto.
Right. All right.
So, Orochimaru versus the third Hokage.
I think that fight was very how do I want to say this? It was almost kind of a letdown. I feel like I feel like I went into that knowing, like, when I saw, I knew that at the point I knew they were gonna fight, I expected something super extravagant and like really cool jutsus and stuff like that, and then we get like 6 straight episodes.
Wait, you didn't like ceiling tile jutsu?
We got 6 straight episodes of him just trying to rip Orochimaru's soul out. Like, dude,
Yeah, but there was stuff going on between that. They would cut back and like.
Yeah, I know. It's just like I felt like it went on forever.
The sword would move 1 more inch, but Naruto just summoned his big ass toad. So one of these is way more interesting than the other.
I think if Orochimaru versus Saratobi was not being like cut back to like put together with the Naruto versus Gaara, I think that's a great fight on its own. But the fact that it was kind of spliced together, however you want to put it, with the Naruto versus Gaara, that just Naruto versus Gaara overshadows that by like a million. Like,
oh yeah, it does, especially because the way that Naruto, this is like Naruto using Takano Jutsu again, but like he gets through to Gaara because they had a similar childhood.
Yeah.
Obviously, Naruto didn't have people try to assassinate him, and he didn't have his best friend try to kill him, but they were both looked down upon and shunned because they're Jinchuriki.
Yeah, they were. Something that I guess I'll see at some point, but maybe it's getting close. We're getting closer to that in Shippuden, but the way that Gaara kind of turned into Shukaku, I wonder if Naruto can at some point. No, I don't know, but if he can turn, or if he does turn into Nine-Tail, probably not. But I mean, I don't know. Anything's possible at this point, I guess.
You'll kind of start to get an idea with this next arc when you watch like Tenchi Bridge. That's where you're at right now. You're at Tenchi Bridge.
Yeah.
When you watch this arc, you'll kind of start to get an idea of what can happen to Naruto. So, I will say that one of the things that confused me the most was I still don't really understand it, is when Chief Toad asks Naruto, he's like, I need you to picture something like big with sharp claws or something, and then they turn into Kurama.
I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought it was cool, but I still don't get it, really. I still don't really understand how that worked.
I don't know why Naruto had to think about it. I guess.
I don't know. Other than that, the fight itself is really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd say top 5 for sure. Probably number 2
of OG.
Huh?
Top 5 of OG.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably two or
Well, I
three.
guess you've only seen like one arc of Shippuden so far,
Right.
so yeah, you'll figure you'll find some good fights in there.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, uh, there's not really a whole lot more to say. I think I have a decent amount to say about this. Oh wait, so if we'll just go tuning exams as a whole now.
Mhm.
So, like a rating for tuning exams, I would probably overall give it an 8.5 to a 9, somewhere in there.
I'd give it a 7.5. I think that I had heard so many good things about it before that like I had that like, oh my god, it's gonna be so good, and then I was kind of let down a little bit because of that. But that's obviously to my own fault.
Yeah, uh, if you ever watch Hunter x Hunter and we do one of these for Hunter x Hunter, I'll have some things to say about Chimera ants just like that.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about Chimera ants.
Yes, I do.
I mean, like, looking back, there's so many cool things that I was just like, I was too busy being like, ugh, this isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. This is boring. The themes in that are so good. But, there's just parts of it that I cannot stand. Much like with all shows, there's parts of shows I can't stand. I can't stand, like, parts in Bleach, and that's my favorite show.
Yeah, I think we both can't stand the same part.
I can't. Okay, small tangent, but I will talk about the worst experience when I was watching Bleach, and it was so we had come out of the Bount arc, and we had. I watched all of the filler for Bleach, and I think you did too.
I did, yeah.
We both watched all of the filler because this is the reason. Bleach is kind of the reason that I watch like longer shows with a filler list now. Like I watched all of Naruto with a filler list, and I'm doing the same thing with One Piece. I mean, I've only had to skip like maybe 20 episodes out of 340 something I'm at now. But I think that the part in Bleach that really made me hate filler is we're in the middle of the Arankar arc, and it's Ichigo versus Grimmjow. We had just
Yep.
gotten off we had just gotten off of like a small like little filler episode, whatever. So that fight finishes, and then the next episode, it like recaps the fight. They always do that. They always give a little recap. It's like, oh, Ichigo won. It's like, and then the narrator comes in and said, oh, don't worry, this story still continues. But that's not the story we're going to look at now. And then you go into the new Captain Shusuke Amagai arc. In which case, I mean, I didn't think it was a terrible arc. I don't think any of the filler in Bleach is terrible.
Bounce
think
is
they're all-
awful.
I think they're all watchable in their own right. Bounce is just too long. Bounce should not have been 2 seasons worth of episodes. Like it was just as long as the Soul Society arc was,
That's true.
which is way too long. But so you go from that, you have that, and then you go into, Ichigo. Then starts like all the captains come in. Byakuya takes down Zamari. Mayuri comes in and beats Xyloparo. And then Kenpachi comes in, beats up Noitara.
Mhm.
But then you get Ichigo, who's like, oh, going to get Orihime back because Stark took her to the tower. And he's like, oh, he's got to fight Ulquiorra. But then you go into another filler arc. And while it's my favorite filler arc I've ever seen, Zanpakuto Rebellion is my favorite filler arc of all time, I think that just the timing was terrible.
Yeah, especially with the Iran card, because obviously you know how I feel about the Bound arc as a storyline, but
I know.
the placement of it was fine because it's like, look, you just finished a really big arc. All right, it's fine. It's not like it's in the middle of like you're in the middle of an arc right now.
Yeah, I'd rather that placement.
Yeah, but you've got how many? You have what, like 3 filler arcs that occur like all in the middle of Ronkars? Like, I get it that they need
Yeah,
time to
yeah.
let the
I
manga
mean,
catch up, but like, come on, like you can't at least finish a part of it, like finish like a main section of it, and then give a filler arc or something like that. Don't in the middle of a fight or something like that, you know?
yeah. I remember when there was one time we watched Bleach over Discord,
Mm-hmm.
and you you were just about to get to Ichigo versus Ulquiorra, and it was almost Vasto Lorde transformation, but you were a couple episodes behind. So I was like, oh, we'll sit down and we'll watch until then.
Mhm.
We had to watch like 4 or 5 episodes of the Sword Beast arc, and that comes after Zanpakuto Rebellion, and the Sword Beast is way worse. It's really annoying, but Zanpakuto Rebellion in itself is really good.
It's a really cool concept. Yeah, it was executed pretty well too.
Yeah. What, there's the lost member of the Kuchiki clan that Byakuya just is like, I'm being an asshole to everyone as I normally do, but this time I'm an extra asshole because I want to kill this asshole.
Yeah, that sounds like my man Byakuya for sure.
It also, for the longest time, had my favorite opening from Bleach. I used to love Anima Rosa.
Yeah, well, you know, the new opening for First Core, Thousand Year Blood War is my favorite, but you know.
Even though we just did like the top 10 list, I think I'm coming around to Ranbuno Melody better.
Really?
Yeah. Then I would probably just replace Velonica with it.
Yeah, I feel like Veronica kind of I replayed it for myself, so I got irritated with it. I guess.
Yeah. Either way, small tangent over. That turned into like a 5-minute tangent. Anyway, to my favorite arc of Naruto, OG Naruto. Weirdly enough, I understand that this isn't many people's favorite arc, but it holds a special place in my heart. It's the Search for Tsunade arc.
This is a interesting arc to say the least. I liked the time, even though there wasn't a whole lot of fight going on this arc. I really enjoyed getting to know Jiraiya better as a character and seeing all the time that Naruto spent together. And I think this is really the arc where I really saw a lot of character development out of Naruto, because you have when he makes the bet with Tsunade after they fight. If we're including the fight that would be at the end of that, I think there's a lot of character development
that's
out of him
including
there.
that.
Like, I don't think that you could say if you take Naruto from even the Chunin exams with the power level that he's at this arc, I don't think that he would do a lot of things he did. Like, he grew up a lot in this arc, I thought, for sure.
100%. I mean, this arc, I'm pretty sure like took me maybe like 2 days to watch through. Versus Chunin exams. Chunin exams was long. It was like definitely over like 50, 60 episodes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Search for Tsunade wasn't too long, but still. It introduces the Rasengan.
Yeah. Naruto's, main move.
And the way they go about it, like the way Naruto has to go about training and like him finally pulling it off. And it's not in a way that Jiraiya does it. Jiraiya can just do it. Naruto still has to use a shadow clone to help him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that only Naruto could handle. Because he has the Nine Tails chakra, he has an immense chakra pool. He can handle making shadow clones every other second to charge a Rasengan.
Yeah.
you'll see some crazy stuff that Naruto can do with shadow clones in Shippuden.
I'm excited for it because so far up to this point, I think that shadow clones have been kind of overused and they seem underpowered for now. Maybe that's just because Naruto wasn't that powerful yet, or smart.
I mean, they still are kind of like when he uses them in a fight to just like try to outnumber someone. It's kind of lame, but uh, we'll talk about it in Sasuke Retrieval with the fight against Kimimaro,
Yeah,
the bone guy. Yeah, you know the guy.
yeah.
Anyway, but I think the fact that the 3 Sanin were all in that fight and each one of them was weakened in their own way. Jiraiya got drugged, so he was fighting after like he was fighting drugged against Orochimaru.
And
Orochimaru didn't have his arms.
Yeah, I couldn't. You really use any like real jutsu at that
He couldn't
point.
use any jutsu, and Tsunade was like has a fear of blood. So when she saw her own blood, yeah,
Yeah, I think what Jiraiya said he was fighting a solid 30% in that fight, something like that.
I don't remember, but it was something like that probably.
I think that was really cool. I think you see a lot of character development, not only for Naruto, there you also see some for Tsunade.
Yeah, for sure. She goes from not caring, not giving a singular fuck about anything, to then like actively wanting to become the new Hokage.
Yeah, for sure. The fact I'm just so mad that Rasengan didn't kill Kali. So I'm so mad about that. He should be dead right now.
Yeah, you'd think, but you'll start to understand why. In other news, the Search for Tsunade arc also, because it brings Tsunade back to the village, it allows Lee to recover.
Yeah, she's able to save Lee.
She's able to perform that surgery. Like even still, there's character development for her where they're like, "Oh, we can't do it. It's only a 50% success rate," and they're like, "We don't want to do it because if it goes wrong, you'll never even be able to walk again."
They're saying he
And
would die.
Tsunade, oh yeah, he would die. Yeah,
Mhm.
and Tsunade, like, her focus for the next however long it was just find a way to increase the chance. And what, she increased the chance by 5%, and that made the difference.
Yeah. It was special for sure, especially as a Lee fan myself to see him to come back and everything like that.
Yeah, 100%.
And then seeing the connection that him and Guy had with Guy telling him look, you got to get the surgery. Like he would basically be miserable the rest of his life if he didn't get it, because he wouldn't be able to do what he
gotta
loves.
get the surgery.
You've got to get the surgery. But he's just like, it's just like at that, when he told him look, if it goes wrong, you end up dying. That he'll die alongside of him. That was like, you see how closely connected they are. I mean, you get a little bit of that with them being.
Yeah.
Look, they dress the same. They try to look. Lee tries to look like Guy. He trains just as hard as he does. Like you see that's only a one level. You see how this is a much deeper level. I think that we get there.
Yeah, I think so. And then, so I say that the Search for Tsunade is my favorite arc of OG Naruto, and I give it like a 9. I give it a 9.
I agree with that.
Like it's like if I give Chunin a 9, it would be like a 9, but less of a 9 because I was unsure if it was a 9 or an 8.5.
Yeah.
But Search for Tsunade is a solid 9 because of all of the character growth that we see from everyone.
Yeah, I
So
100% agree with that. 9 is a good score for that.
So, into the final arc of OG Naruto. And we're just hit 55 minutes on the recording.
All right.
So, the final arc of original Naruto, the Sasuke retrieval arc.
Mm, I do have to say a couple of things, and I don't want, I don't want to hear anything about it. I personally
I'm gonna say things about it.
really did not like. I liked it, but it was like the second half. Like the first half, I thought was like, oh my god, could this get any worse?
I think for me, once we got to the point, basically, it was the opening I thought was really good. Those first couple fights kind of felt like they didn't mean much in the grand scheme of things.
Like you get to see some side characters, like you see Choji, uh, and who was it? I know Choji and Neji. Who was the other one? I thought I forget. Shikamaru,
Kiba.
Kiba.
Kiba was the third, and then it was Shikamaru, and then Naruto.
I liked Choji's fight a lot because Choji actually defeated him.
Yeah.
And the concept with those like pills or whatever was really cool.
I definitely, 100%. I thought Choji was gonna die,
Oh yeah.
and his flashback was super sad. Like, it was like almost like no one wanted to be friends with him because he was fat.
Yeah.
And Shikamaru was just always there to be a friend.
Yeah.
Like, even though Shikamaru has like a I don't care attitude, he's one of the most real and most caring people in the entire world of Naruto.
Yeah, for sure. But like, that's the fight I think out of those three that had the most meaning because he actually defeated him, and he had that like oh my, you had that moment like oh my god, he's dead. Because like I legit thought he was dead until the arc was basically over. I thought he was dead the whole time. But
I thought so too.
Yeah, you move to the Neji fight. I think that was really cool how they were able to display the weakness of the Byakugan. However, Neji should be dead. There's no way he survives getting literally his midsection
impaled,
blown straight through with a giant arrow. Like, there's no way.
The other thing is, no one else could have fought that guy and won.
Yeah, no doubt.
Neji was the only person that could have beaten that guy, the spider dude.
Yeah, and I liked Neji's character development there a lot because he realized. Now I know you said that he becomes proven right more throughout Shippuden, but at that moment he flashes back to a lot of what Naruto told him, and he's like, wow, he was right. Like I was wrong. And it was really cool to see because that's not something you would think you'd see from someone like Neji, but. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
The amount of blood loss that you would have from something like that, all the wounds he had. I mean, like, I like him as a character, but that's where Neji should have been.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a thing with anime in general. Like, you think the amount of blood loss, like Bleach has that problem a lot.
Yeah.
One thing I can think of specifically is in Soul Society when Renji challenges Byakuya, and like he gets hit by Byakuya's Bankai. You'd think he would be absolutely like dead because they showed like the shot of like the blood squirting from everywhere, and he was just like on the floor, and then he gets back up and fights again. I think that there's no way that like it's just an anime thing where blood loss either applies or it doesn't. Sometimes it's more serious, sometimes it's just there for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I found most of the fights unmemorable in that, except for I thought that Lee with being drunk was immensely hilarious.
That was so funny. Yeah.
That was hilarious. And then when all the Sand Shinobi show up to help, Gaara and Lee work together.
Which that was really surprising, but it was like also really cool to see at the same time. Because it's
It's
like
character development for Gaara.
the last time that they were together, Gar was trying to kill Lee, and now they're working together.
Gaara was
And Gar
literally
saved
about
Lee's
to
life.
kill Lee.
Yeah, and now in this fight, he actually saved Lee's life a couple of times. So it's like
Yeah.
a complete flip 180. Um, but yeah, when you said that those other fights weren't memorable with Choji, Neji, and Kiba, I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember any of the names of those dudes they fought. I don't know. I just
I don't remember any of like they're called the Sound Four. I don't remember any of their names. I remember Kimimaro because he's the bone guy.
Yeah.
And then you get my favorite arc, or not my favorite arc, my favorite fight in not only the arc, not only original Naruto, but the entire series
Wow.
is Naruto versus Sasuke.
I'll give you that the second half of that. Well, 3/4 second. If you take the back 3/4 of that, that is really well done. I'd say that's a great fight. It's not number one for me. Obviously, Gar Lee is, but I'd say I could put
Gar
that
versus
I could
Lee.
put that at a 2, for sure. But you know, there is so much in the beginning of that fight that I just don't like. I feel like the flashbacks were cool, but at the same time, it's just like it made this drag out a lot longer than it needed to be. It felt like, oh, are they gonna start fighting or not? Like, when is this gonna happen? You know what I'm saying?
Remind me what those flashbacks were.
They were to Sasuke's childhood, and I think there was a couple of Naruto's childhood. They weren't by any means bad flashbacks. It added a lot, and I got to learn a lot about Itachi through that. But
Yeah.
I think the placement of them wasn't too great. I think if you get that before, as Sasuke's thinking about stuff, thinking about why he's going through with this, I think that's the right placement for it. But not as they're starting to fight, and then him just kicking the ever-living shit out of Naruto for a solid quarter of the fight.
Yeah, he kicks the shit out of Naruto until Naruto pulls out one tail of Nine Tails chakra.
Yeah. Yep.
But then it looks so good. It flows so well. You can feel the weight behind every single blow, every single fireball jutsu.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Seeing Sasuke's Sharingan progress a little bit was pretty cool. I think that Naruto, what do they call that? He's got like the nine tails, like eyes and stuff like that.
So when he has like just the eyes and the fangs, it's the Nine Tails like chakra, and then when he like starts to look like he has a tail made out of chakra, that's like one tail cloak.
Yeah.
And then there's like two tails cloak. I think he goes to two tails in this fight.
Yeah. I think that is really cool, but I also think that it's more powerful, I feel like, than they made it seem like it was. Because like as soon as Sasuke added that one extra dot to his Sharingan, it was just like, oh, this is nothing. I could see everything. Like, I don't think that.
Oh, that's when he got the third Tomoe.
Yeah. I'm just like, all right. But that was a really well done fight. Overall, for sure.
It is my favorite, just because it's satisfying to finally see Naruto and Sasuke fight, and Naruto be able to like prove himself to Sasuke, who always thought he was better than Naruto. And while Sasuke technically ends up winning the fight, Naruto shows that he can still like hang in there, and it starts Naruto down the path of, I need to save Sasuke from
I wouldn't
himself.
even say hang in there. I would say like he's definitely toe to toe, and there is a lot of me that thinks that he could have actually won that fight if he didn't have the connection he did have to Sasuke, with how close he believed they so-called were. Um, I feel like he 100% was that fight because at some point I feel like he's just like he doesn't have the heart, he doesn't have the desire to kill Sasuke, which is why I feel like
Yeah.
there's a even if it's just a small part of him is holding back, and I think that's what caused him to lose the fight overall. But it was definitely very powerful, and from what I'm kind of seeing, I guess I'm gonna throw a prediction out there that they're probably gonna fight again at some point in Shippuden. I would love
They
to
do
see
they
it.
do they do fight again at some point in Shippuden.
I am really interested to see how that compares to this fight with better animation stuff.
I like this fight better, but a lot of people will say that their fight in Shippuden is is better. I personally like the OG one more, but there are so many fans of the final of their fight in Shippuden.
So
However, did you notice there is symbolism with, you know, how when someone's they're a shinobi that's been like discharged from a village, or like they kind of like reject their village, or they're kind of like a rogue shinobi. You know how they always have like the line through their headband? You see that on Itachi's headband.
yeah, all of Akatsuki really, yeah, that have them, at
Did you
least.
notice that when Naruto and Sasuke were fighting, Naruto scratched Sasuke's headband and put a line through the hidden leaf symbol?
I did notice that, and at that point we had already met Itachi and seen some of the Akatsuki, and I have to say that that's really cool, but that also put a little seed in my head that I'm waiting to see play out. I think I'm right. I don't know.
Go
At
ahead,
some
share
point-
your theory. Share your theory.
My theory is at some point in Shippuden, Sasuke will join the Akatsuki. That's my theory.
I will not say anything. I will let you see what happens.
I feel like his reason for doing it is not because he actually wants to join them. I feel like his reason will be because he wants to get close to Itachi so he can fight him again. That's why I feel like he would join it, not necessarily to try and kill all the Jinchuriki.
You might be a little surprised. Anyway, so Sasuke retrieval arc overall, I think that it's a good arc. There's no bad arcs in original Naruto. I wouldn't say there's even a bad arc in Shippuden. But I think that aside from probably the Land of Waves, Sasuke retrieval might be my least favorite. So I know I gave Land of Waves a 7.5 to an 8. Like, I would give Sasuke retrieval a solid 8. Because I know so many people are like, oh, this is the arc where boys become men. But, you know, some of those fights, I found myself just being bored by them. I was bored by Kiba's fight. For the most part, I was actually bored by Shikamaru's fight until, you know, Tamari came in, and then things got interesting. But I don't know. It just felt kind of boring. But that last fight just elevates it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I'd say if you remove the fight between Naruto and Sasuke, this arc is terrible in my opinion. I feel like
Wow.
I
I wouldn't
just
say it's terrible, but
it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's
what is the worst thing you've ever seen?
bounce.
Really? I don't know. I'd have to think about Bounce versus some of the things I've watched.
Well,
I've got a couple crapper animes that I've watched.
I mean, from what you've said, Fake Planet Namek's pretty trash too, but I haven't watched
What?
that. You remember when we talked about the fake Planet Namek arc from Dragon Ball Z?
Oh my God, Fake Planet Namek sucks.
I mean, I never watched it, so I
Um,
can't talk about it. But
Space Orphans sucks. Bulma the Frog sucks. Um, actually, the Garlic Jr. filler arc isn't bad. Otherworld Tournament's pretty cool. Uh, yeah, that's about it. Actually, there's a pretty cool filler arc at the end of original Dragon Ball, which you still haven't watched.
it's on my watch list. I don't know if I can do it. I really don't know. I've watched Z, I've watched GT, I've watched Super. I don't think, knowing what Dragon Ball is now, that I can go back and watch something that's like it's not what Dragon Ball, what the image of Dragon Ball is in my mind.
And that's the problem. I
Right.
did it when I was young and impressionable.
So it was all
There's
good
a
for you.
there's a reason that my favorite fight in the entire series comes from original Dragon Ball.
That is true. We do talk about that.
You know which one that is.
Yep. I think. Probably.
Finals of the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai.
Yep.
So good. You have, if for nothing else, you have to watch original Dragon Ball for that.
Yeah. I'll get around to it at some point, but that time is not now.
Yeah, you got stuff to do. You got to watch original Dragon Ball, and then we can do a full Dragon Ball series retrospective. That episode of this podcast would end up being like 3 hours long. I'm not gonna lie.
We might have to break it up into each Dragon Ball series, honestly.
Hey, milk for content, and I'll be honest about that.
Yes.
I mean, we could do a Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, we could do Dragon Ball Z. We could definitely do Super and GT. Talk about.
Oh, I got things to say about GT.
Yeah. I'm not a hater of
I feel
GT. I'll say that.
I'm not a GT hater. I love parts of GT. It's just
Keyword,
90% of it
keywords.
that I hate. It's just 90% of it that I hate.
Well, I wouldn't say 90%. I'd give it about at least a solid 50%. It's not good, but
I still think you're wrong. You argue that Shadow Dragons is better than Baby.
Shadow Dragons is better.
You're wrong.
It gives
The first 4 dragons don't mean anything.
Okay, Shadow Dragons, you know what I can compare it to, and this is in no way mean that they're the same level of how
Quality.
good they are. Quality, yes. But retrieval, like Sasuke retrieval, Shadow Dragons. The first, if you can compare, like all the fights we talked about, true for Sasuke that you don't remember the dude's names that they fought. That's like fighting the other dragons. But at the end of it,
I only know their names because of Dokkan.
yes. But it's like the end of that arc. Holy shit! Like that's like
Oh, the
really
end
good.
is really cool. Like GT has the best ending of any Dragon Ball series.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like, well, as of now, we don't know. Super hasn't ended yet, so.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
Hopefully they bring it back. I'm looking out for it, man.
Yeah. Still haven't watched Superhero.
Neither have I. I don't think I want to at this point. I know the entire movie. I could recite word for word probably at this point.
I know, but
Still
I want to
it.
see the gammas outside of Dokkan. Basically, I just want to watch it for the gammas.
Really? I'd watch it for Beast Gohan, but that's just me.
Yes, the guy with 2 minutes of screen time.
I hope that he's a canon part of the story. I think that's gonna be cool if he is.
The superhero is. I'm pretty sure the manga right now is going like to I think it's a prelude to Superhero,
Huh?
if I'm not mistaken.
So yeah, because imagine. I mean, at some point, I know they're gonna do it because it would be a great idea, really good idea. The Tournament of Power 2. I think that if you take, no, maybe it's not a great idea. Maybe it's just a really good idea in my head.
You
But if
know how I feel about the Tournament of Power.
I know how you feel about it, but your opinion doesn't count because you had to watch it week to week. I watched it in big
I
chunks.
watched it. I watched it the way that 95% of people watched it.
I think if you sort of binge watch it, it is
100%.
exponentially.
It is exponentially better as a binge.
Yes. Yes.
However, I cannot understate or I cannot overstate how boring it was week to week.
Yeah. I can understand that because there are some episodes that's like, all right, that was cool. Not really, but like,
I could name you specific episodes. I think it's 106 with the stupid sniper where Ten Shinhan gets eliminated.
mhm.
Stupid episode, boring.
Little cricket dude, whatever he was.
Yeah, episode 119 is awful. That's the one where Piccolo gets eliminated because he forgets after using stretchy arms to save Gohan. He already used his stretchy arms. Why did he not use his stretchy arms to pull himself back up? That is so stupid.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I know what our next podcast is going to be. It's going to be specifically Dragon Ball Super. We are talking Dragon Ball Super, going
Yes,
through all the
yes.
arcs, and we'll be talking those movies that go along. So, not superhero excluded, but we'll talk about Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, and Super Broly.
The best Dragon Ball movie.
It's my favorite. Super Broly is, but I can't say anything until I've watched Superhero for sure.
True.
All I ever wanted
I still can't believe you didn't like
was
Fusion
to have him
Reborn.
keep watching over me.
Again, same reason why. I watched Super already, and I watched Super Broly before I watched Fusion Reborn, so I know that version of Gogeta better. And I just
You know the version of Gogeta that actually says words.
that's true. I
I grew up with the Gogeta that showed up, didn't say anything, killed a dude, and left.
I don't know. I was not super impressed with Fusion Reborn.
What, you didn't like Gotenks and Hitler fight?
That was so. It just caught me off guard. I was like, dude, what the hell is going on right now? Like, there's no way you actually made Hitler do this shit.
I think it's so worth it for the line of, blonde hair and blue eyes. I should be recruiting them.
Yeah, that was
That whole line makes that sequence worth it.
I don't know. I just don't understand how they got away with putting that on the movie. Like, you know how bad it is to kind of put Hitler in that kind of stuff. It's just like I don't know how they got away with it, but it was interesting to say the least, for sure.
Because he got brought back from hell,
That's true.
probably.
And then he got his ass.
He was like seen as a bad guy and then got absolutely destroyed.
by Gotenks. Gotenks.
Da, 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 da.
Oh,
All right. So I know you got some homework to do, don't you?
Yeah. Stupid homework. College
Well,
life.
I'll let you go have fun with that, and
Yeah,
thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on the first episode. I'm pretty sure you'll probably be here every episode.
Yeah.
Ooh. You think Jake would want to participate in a Dragon Ball episode?
I can find out. I haven't talked to him in a while, for sure.
I'm sure he'd come along and talk some Dragon Ball Z with us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so be on the lookout for more episodes of this podcast, and we'll see you next time for the Name Pending Podcast.
All right.